Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, la sweet, la honey. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me.
Who's the epic villain you missed the most? It's the umbrella guy listening to them crying as they pull the plug because their case is dying. It's falling apart, listen to them scream. Gotta laugh if they're stupid on my next live stream. The down who goes, another lawyer falls. Like reverse Pokemon, you gotta wreck them all. They just got nuked, the case turned to ash. And how they blame the plaintiff and beg the court for cash. And all the excuses, how is any of this real? They can sanction them, Your Honor, we cannot pay our bills. And for all those reasons and what you said about jail, I'm gonna change my arguments and blame Mr. Hales. Picture a lawyer so corrupt he lies about proof, about messages, about his own words. He even frames his lawsuits as other people's filings. Why? Because accountability isn't a word in their vocabulary.
Who's the epic villain? Broadcasting coast to coast.
Who's the epic villain you missed the most? It's that young umbrella guy.
I like that song.
I like the fact that the car is like part of your body and like
I like
when it spins. It's very funny.
I like the weird spider iris they put in. There's so much of that that's funny. Oh my god, I really like that dancing video too. I'm telling you, the little arm going. Oh my gosh, that's
doing the Macarena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Macarena. Oh.
Hey, Macarena.
Oh my god. And I was like, man, I ask for dances, but my lord, what a sexy dance.
I just realized today that the butter on Sexy Toast has a horrified face.
Oh,
yeah. And that's really funny.
Oh, that always, I don't even remember how that came together anymore, but it just became a thing somehow. And and I love it.
Somebody in
The
the chat
things
was
that,
like, "I'm too sexy for my toast."
oh, it cracked me up. Like it just stuck around. It stuck around for years, Oh my gosh, man, today, by the way, we finally got to see the big bad own that we've been hearing about
Was
how
the
it was going
thing,
to
or
be.
like was supposed to like make me? It was gonna blow my mind. Apparently, my
Yeah.
mind's blown all right, but I don't think in the way she thought.
Oh man, yeah, I wasn't expecting what was it, 134 pages of nonsense.
Well, and all the pages are these exhibits that don't need to be there. It's very
Right.
weird. Like most of them are Randy's filings, and like you could just refer to the filing in your thing. You don't have to attach the filing because it's in the record.
And the whole excuse to my favorite thing about the filing. So 2L1 has been promising us she's going to file this devastating, item about Randy. And instead of just taking blame for her screw up and saying, hey, I need to go in and amend something because I screwed up majorly. I'm pro se. Whoopsie. Can I do that? Instead of doing it, it's that guy over there. He caused me to make an idiot of myself.
Well, and it's the thing is that I can't believe she's decided to go with this because it's demonstrably false that she didn't get document 35. Right. I can prove it. Also, we haven't even gone over all the proof of how we know she was responding to the amended filing and not the original complaint, but we have a lot. We have a lot. Lisa Lee had the amended filing. That is the only one she was served with. She was never served with the first complaint because she dodged service. I've already shown you the email that shows that went to the server with the documents attached, which was the amended complaint and who it was going to, and she was on the list. And then what we haven't gone over, we'll have to go over tonight because it's really unbelievable. And that would be the way she responded in her first motion to dismiss. She used paragraph numbers to respond. We're going to look at those and see which paragraph numbers she could have been referring to.
Right.
And I hate to inform her, but the paragraph numbers in complaint number 1 and the paragraph numbers in her complaint do not match up. You know what? You know which paragraph numbers do match up? The ones in the amended complaint.
The amended filing, yeah. Well, it's funny. People notice this stuff, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to tell her that everybody's noticed.
Right. We decided not to tell her, just let her file her.
Yeah, let her find out. Since she notices everything beforehand, and so again, all she had to do was say, hey, whoops, screw up. Because I think Randy's made it kind of clear that his goal wasn't to win on technicality. He has shown Bruce enough grace, even though Bruce does not want to admit this, but he showed Bruce enough grace that he didn't have to. He tried to tell him, this won't work or that won't work. So
he tried to tell her the same thing, that this isn't going to work. Go ahead and file it, but it's not going to work. I do, again, her filing makes me feel the same way I feel about all pro se litigants. I always feel a little sorry for them, but then also not, because you should know that you need to hire a lawyer for these things.
She has the ability to get a lawyer. That's the thing, but she has enough platform there that she could get a lawyer.
I can't believe that these people haven't noticed that the lawyers that they talk to all get lawyers.
Yeah, that's the thing I keep bringing up. When you look at the service list, that the lawyers themselves, again, people are telling you, sure, I'll help behind the scenes. I'll do this for you and I'll do that for you. Well, they're not relying on one another. They're relying on outside counsel.
Yep.
Yep,
they're not relying on their own advice to file their own filings. They hired lawyers. David Helm has a lawyer. Bruce Manskin has a lawyer. Yet everybody else around him, they're not getting lawyers. Well, why? Why would you do this? Why would you go pro se?
They're being told that they're going to get help. They're getting help by lawyers. Look at the quality of the so-called lawyers that you're getting help from, too.
Yeah, so you choose retired and disbarred lawyers to help you with your filing? Like, why would you do this? It doesn't make any sense to me. And I mean, I don't care. It's not my lawsuit. She can do whatever she wants, but it's really not advisable. In anybody with a brain knows you gotta hire an attorney. Oh, by the way, right before we started, there was some breaking news that happened. There's more YouTubers being sued by Blake Lively. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Blake Lively has now subpoenaed Andy Senior and Perez Hilton and Candace Owens for their sources. Mm-hmm. She wants their sources. I am so tired of people using lawfare against YouTubers and independent media in order to silence us from speaking about our opinions on legal, public cases, which we have a right to have an opinion on. We have a right to dig into, get sources, interview people about, but they treat us differently than they would treat an NBC, a CNN. You don't see Blake Lively subpoenaing them. And there's a reason, because they have armies of lawyers who would give her a huge fight. And I think you're right, Tug, when you said what we were talking about earlier, and you said they think we can't fight back. Yeah. It's a disgusting thing that we keep seeing, where YouTubers who are reporting on legal cases, Andy Senior reports on law stuff too. He likes to report on these Hollywood, like the Diddy case and the Blake Lively thing, and he has every right to do that. Mm-hmm. And yet he's going to be put under a microscope and forced to give up his sources. Excuse me? No. I hope he destroys them. I hope his lawyer absolutely destroys them.
But it's redonkulous. It's this never-ending circle jerk, too, of people trying to practice lawfare. I think, honestly, too, the Blake Lively thing, I think, she already had the big head, but I think the Ryan Reynolds crap is going to her freaking head, too. She thinks she's so all-powerful. It just shows you what these people were dealing with. I think it goes more and more, because when have you seen Hollywood celebs reach out and try to go after YouTubers? Even her, with all the trying to unmask, she did try to unmask over 200 people and probably would have continued to go forward like that. But even she was given legal advice not to try to pull that bullshit, So
yeah, it's incredible. And I hope that I hope that he gets a swift and, decisive, win on this quickly, to shut down more of this, because this is going to continue to happen until the law catches up with YouTube being a source of journalism in the new world. Like, it's a new world. This is social media driven news, and that doesn't make it any less news than CNN, ABC, the dinosaur media. And I'm getting real tired of it, which is another reason, by the way, why this case matters. Yet again, it brings it back to Jeremy Hales and why we're still on this case. It matters because this is a YouTuber case. This is about what one can and cannot do on YouTube and what is or is not news.
It's also this idea. So anyone that manages to get a statement from a person works for them now. I mean, right. That's the idea. So does that go both ways? Because I hate to break it to these morons, but should we talk about Team Blake Lively? Should we talk about some of the stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think that, we missed the boat on that one, because obviously
No, I mean, it's much bigger. That's not what I mean. I don't mean like you and I talking about it. I'm talking about who they've reached out to.
Right.
The stuff that they have behind things.
Yeah, what have they done? What have they been doing? And anyway, I heard Andy a little bit today. He had a live today, and I heard him say, they're accusing him of being paid by Justin Baldoni and his team. This is the same kind of crap we're facing with this. They're being paid by Jeremy Hales.
That's the go-to.
Andy made it very clear. He was like, I am interested in this case because I am interested in this case. Wow. And I have opinions on it because I have opinions on this case.
No, see, like
no
Andy
one's paying him except his audience.
And he needs to make it clear. It's the same thing I do. You know, they've pulled that with this, DEP, any of that. You know, that's the go-to. And I'm like, no, I get paid to make fun of weirdos and wreck them. Who's paying me? It's the people that say that shit about me. Yeah, that's what makes it rain money. So
yeah, and the audience enjoys the content, and if they didn't, they wouldn't support it. And speaking of that, if you enjoy this content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Make the haters writhe in agony and accuse us even more of being paid shills for who knows what. But what we want to be is paid shills for you, chat. That's all we really want to be, is paid shills for the chat. So send a super chat and support the show. Send the breadsticks, because Tug works hard for the money. So hard for it, honey.
I work hard for that money. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I haven't given an update since yesterday. I thought this went very well. So I went and saw a doctor from Vanderbilt. Now, this would be specialist number 3.
One ringy dingy.
You talk about racking up money. It's so ridiculous. You know, I mean, this has been 7 months of stupid so far.
And imagine that all that money that you paid for the other 2 specialists was completely pointless.
Yeah, so this is it. Okay, I'll tell you, the first doctor was willing to go with, they did certain tests. They did the ZO, which monitors your heart. You wear it around. They did, I can't remember all the scans and whatnot. Now, they didn't run like the heart cath or anything. That's from part 2. But, you know, they pretty much look at the mechanism of the heart. He was willing to go with that and stick me on the medicine Midodrine forever. that was it. And I was like, no, that's not fixing anything. You know, we don't even know why anything's happening. You know, your body does this for some reason. Let's try to get some answer, you know. So go with specialist 2. Now, specialist 2, they run the heart cath and everything, but a weird thing happened with them, and it freaked me out. So the doctor noted after my procedure with the heart cath, they noted that let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right. They noted that there were signs out of, I guess there were 3 tests they do. You know, they look at different mechanisms of the heart, and one test had failed. And it was for a microvascular angiopathy. They were like, now the memory problems that I've been experiencing, if that were true, that would be very bad, you know, because that wouldn't be brain fog. That would be lack of oxygen. That would be, you know, slowly killing you off. You know, you could end up with dementia. It's like pressing the fast forward button on dementia. Well, interestingly, the last meeting I had, so after that, she said, oh, well, you know, we can deal with certain things with med changes or whatever. And the last meeting I had, they didn't want to do or change anything. And I was like, this is weird. In fact, they didn't bring up anything about that test. So I contacted a doctor through Vanderbilt, and interestingly got in there in a day. You know, now that's unheard of, by the way, for Vanderbilt. Yeah, but it worked out. I got in the very next day. So I go over there, and the first thing the doctor told me, he said, when they talk to you, they tell you, you know, you don't have anything life-threatening, but that's not good enough. What they should tell you is there is nothing that it's going to reduce your timeline. You know, it's going to take away time from you at all. And it's not going to hurt you physically or mentally. So I brought that up, microvascular angiopathy. So like, yeah, that's actually, he said, yeah, that's not noted in the test at all. Oh. What I think happened is this woman, she does so many tests on a day. I think she mixed me up with someone else.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think so. So,
well, I guess we can be grateful that you don't.
Yeah, I would rather be mixed up on that. But, you know, you talk about, like, because I sat, after hearing that, I sat for almost a month. And I thought, man, you know, every day, like brain fog and stuff, like I said, like that's terrifying. Meanwhile, they're treating me, you could tell, looking at it, they're taking an approach for what's called POTS, POTS, and people can look that up, but with that is a very real thing, by the way, but that's also an easy way for people to dismiss you too. You know what? We didn't figure it out easily, therefore, they don't look for other stuff. So the doctor sat down, and in the first 7 minutes of talking to them, they told me more than I'd heard in 7 months. I went through everything and said, essentially, it's not the mechanism of my heart or anything. And it could be POTS, but it might be something else misfiring in the body. So they wanted to do a run up with, they wanted to go other directions too, outside of the heart. And I was like, wow, so their answer was, let's not give up on figuring out what that is. Let's actually,
Sure.
let's dive in. And that's what they should have done.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, this is number 3. So
Well, I'm just glad that you got somebody who listens now, and
that also
is
doesn't
more responsive, because that was just crazy.
5 ER visits, I think, under this. But I tell people, so for my I have a very low opinion of the hospitals anyway. When my appendix was having problems with it, I ended up going to the hospital. I couldn't remember. The number sounds crazy, so I had to go back and actually confirm the number, and I was shooting it low. It was 14 ER visits that I went to. Yeah, and finally, one of these people referred me to a specialist who gave me that cleanse stuff, and it caused my appendix to rupture.
Good Lord!
It was the worst pain. I mean, I can't even describe it, but then it stopped after it ruptures. Finally, the pain stopped. So I was looking at time 15 and debating whether or not to go, and I ended up going, and I found out, yep.
Thank God.
Yeah, for real. And they're like, oh, by the way, it's ruptured. You need to get surgery now. Stat, let's do it.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I was like, man. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I thought the same thing about the ER, or the doctor for Vanderbilt at first. I was like, man, it's gonna be more of the same. But I went anyway, and it was very good. So anyway, that's about where it is. Do I have answers? No, but at the same time, at least I know my heart is not quitting on me.
That's very good news.
Yeah. But people get asked for updates. Oh, I want to tell you something real fast. So the little one today, so my oldest and my youngest daughter, they love to race. They race out of how little kids are. They turn everything into a competition. So they're racing to the car today, and the little one wins. So she turns around to her sister, and she's celebrating. She's like, losers get stitches. I was like, losers get stitches? I think it's snitches get stitches. She looked at me, and she's like, yeah, those two.
You're getting it all.
Losers get stitches.
It's really funny.
Cracked me up though. She was celebrating. I was like, oh my gosh, how many people has she told that to? That cracked me up though. Some of her quotes where she messes like little statements up are so funny. Losers get stitches. That reminds me of reading certain filings by certain people, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of losers. Oh my God. Let's pull this up here. All right. So now this is a lot of filing, by the way. And a lot of filing, again, there's really 7 pages that power this through. I'm gonna give you a glimpse of everything here, just to show you what we mean by the insane amount of page work. We had 87. This is our main filing. Then we had our auxiliary filings, 87, Now, 87-1, we're not going to cover. I'm showing you these two because we're not going to cover every one of these. You'll see the insane amount of paperwork, and you think, wow, they kept bragging. I dropped all this paperwork. It's going to blow the judge's mind, Beck's mind. It's going to blow Megan's mind. It's like, wait a minute, that's the Second Amendment complaint.
We've already seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Second Amendment.
We've already read that.
Yeah, with a few items at the bottom. So instead of your 74, you have a little bit of attachment, but nothing that really adds there. Now for 87-2.
Yeah, she also attached is this the transcript?
Now this is the amended motion to dismiss. So she adds in her stupidness. Yeah.
Oh, and it has so much stuff in it that is not relevant to the charges that she's facing. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why she put this stuff in there.
I just don't. She blames Randy though. Instead of can you make a mistake? Sure. If you're going to make a mistake, you make a mistake. Okay, whatever. But the way that she tries to approach this stuff is so stupid. The one thing I will give her, though, there's one thing, even as stupid as this is, she did something that Lips can't manage. She used black and white pictures. I don't know if that's where they mail in or what.
But again, why was she including pictures of thumbnails again? What? I have no idea. There's nothing about that. It's not. I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. So much of this
stuff is irrelevant. There's a lot of irrelevant bullshit that she adds in here. So
just a ton of irrelevant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
87-3 is the Jeremy Hale's depot.
Yeah, this was really funny. So did we never finish reading this? Because there were some pages in here, some things that I don't think I remember reading.
Fat Lisa Lee.
Yeah, I don't think I remember reading him saying Fat Lisa Lee. Do you? Do you remember reading that? Because I don't remember that. Or has it just been so long that I don't?
It's probably been a while. I think we went over it all, but we definitely need to return to some of this.
Because I honestly don't remember any of this.
This is so good. It cuts in. It's like sitting on Fat Lisa Lee's lap. Isn't that interesting? With no face mask.
What's the context for this? What?
It's talking about the little kid.
Oh,
it's right. The little one, she's like, she's sitting on Fat Lisa's lap, saying, she's gonna die from this, she's gonna die from that, so
nails, glass, yeah.
So that's what that's about. And definitely didn't go to Fat Lisa Lee and say, hey, why don't you set up that website?
Yeah.
Then they're whining about, the corruption of the Levy County judge. I mean, again, Jeremy's allowed to have that opinion of that judge. The judge, you had to have a writ to make them step down because they were so biased.
And the appellate court said he did illegal things.
Yeah.
Illegal. They said unlawful. Sorry, the word was unlawful. Unlawful, which also means illegal. Unlawful.
That's your client, and that says she doesn't want to be on YouTube, yet she's on the live stream and Fat Lisa Lee.
What does this have to do though with the claims against her? Wait a minute. Are the claims against her false because he said some mean things about her? Because she said she smells like cod.
Like she smells like cod. Oh my God. Cod. You got to admit, this one was great. It's like
I don't think I ever read this. I'm not kidding. I don't think I read this. We didn't get this far.
We are going to have to look at some of this stuff for sure.
We're still
when
not
the truth is actually
ours.
shared, which is what I do on What the Hales. Actual truth, not two Lees in a pod that smell like God. Not two lies that you love to hang out with.
Look, again, I do not recommend behaving like this in a deposition. I don't.
Well, you know what? Like, this is old hat. Like, she is also stirring up old freaking hat. She wants old school, old drama, and you are allowed to insult a mofo. You are allowed to.
You are. I just don't recommend doing it in a deposition.
No, not in court. You shouldn't.
I'm just saying.
You know what? Bruce should not have been able to. He should have never been able to perform that depo. That is some garbage bullshit. Most people.
Yeah, I
never
agree. And that's why. Which deposition was this? In what case was this?
This was Fed 1. This is the long one because this is the
one that they had to continue in Pensacola, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why so much comes up, you know. Oh my goodness, what's the name of the channel, Bruce? Oh wait, I'm sorry, Deuce. What's the name of the channel, Deuce? What is it? Is it what the child? What's the name of the channel?
Look at this, but it's not your child.
Say it.
Say it.
Why say it?
Your responsibility.
Oh, I love it. It's really funny. But I mean, the judge stepped in and he oversaw. He gave Bruce hours more time, and he made the other side split costs because of it. You know, so he definitely handled that shit. Yeah. But look, I mean, this is stuff. Here's where she goes off the rails. If she wanted to point out and be like, "Oh my God, it's me," but no, it's about Bruce. That's hilarious. This is their big freaking bombshell. Shut up and keep your mouth shut. Gosh, for as big of a nose as you have, your mouth is even bigger. Holy shit.
Oh God, read this next paragraph. I never heard this. I'm telling you. Read this.
This whole thing is so good. Listen, you're the one. You know what? We need to look after we look at the paper. We need to go
come back here and read this.
Yeah, let's look at this one.
All right. Because it is unbelievable. I just don't remember reading maybe we didn't make it through the whole thing. I'm gonna have to go back and look. Because sometimes that happens. So much happened in this case. Tug and I still haven't finished Char's deposition. But I thought we did finish Jeremy's. Dang.
And then there was an email exchange between 2L and between Randy Shockett. Let's see. That one's in here too. So this is dear counsel, I would be filing a motion to leave or file to file amended motion to dismiss. Oh my God, people. This will be great. I'm requesting whether or not you consent. Please promptly let me know. Ask, hey, what's your grounds? You know, my grounds are found in the following attachment. So, you know, you can respond that we do not agree, especially the claim that you were not served with the amended complaint. We have the documentation that this process server never received anything but the amended complaint for you to be served. So for her to say that she was never. Yeah,
you want to see that? Shall we pull that up?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here it is. Again, here's the documented proof that the server, which is this email was sent to, the attached from a federal lawsuit. Also, please serve the 2 Florida defendants. Their subpoenas are attached along with the subpoenas for the New York defendant and the Wisconsin defendant. And there it is. Document 35 with all the attachments 1, 2, and 3. And the summons to Weeks is the very last one on the bottom right. You see that? That's the only one she was actually served with. And this is proof that the process server who served her was only in possession of document 35. This process server was not the same process server who went to serve document 1 and wasn't able to. Jeremy hired somebody else after that because they were unable to serve her. So they hired a brand new
good
one.
Reason. You know, you bring in a new person if they can't fill their duty. You bring in another person.
Somebody else.
Yeah,
you get somebody else, and this person was only given the amended complaint, and this is the person who served her. She absolutely was served the amended complaint and was never served complaint number 1. Period. It is undeniable. This is irrefutable proof, and there's more. In her own words, I showed you guys in her own words on her show. She said, when I saw the amended complaint, I didn't read it.
Oh, God. I was reading
because
this.
I wasn't going to read freaking 75 pages. Well, that's your own fault. She admitted at minute 6 in the broadcast that she saw it, she had it, and she didn't read it.
Yep. She did not read it. She's like, I didn't read every single page, but she admitted that she got it. Oopsie. That's your fault. He needs to take that transcript. He needs to, again, respond to the idea that she didn't get it. Because she couldn't just own up to, hey, whoopsie, made a mistake. She had to go after the opposing counsel. And again, just like she's playing the same shit that Bruce did. The same game.
She also deleted a video that she did. One of her Rumble streams went missing. She deleted it, but of course I have the transcript of it, and I think I know why it went missing. Because in that broadcast, she admits to being a competitor of Jeremy Hale's. She admits that her channel buys storage units. She said she's going to get back to doing what her channel does here, which is storage units and reselling. Oh my goodness. Because in her amended complaint, she claims she is not a competitor of Hale.
Not a competitor, right.
But in her recent broadcast, of which I have a transcript, she says she buys storage units and resells things. Just so.
Come here, give me a hug real quick. I heard you coming down. Come here. What you doing, girl? You been good today?
Watching TV.
Yeah, I was trying to tell people. I couldn't remember. What was it that you said after the race with Sissy? What happened? Losers what?
Losers get stitches.
Oh my goodness.
I have the win.
Oh, Lord.
That's why my hands are win.
Yeah, that's why. Not because you've been into... What have you been into? Jello.
That Gigi bought me.
Oh my goodness. Well, you need to stay out of that mess. Hey, you need to go clean your hands. They're going to be stained. She's like, that's why my hands are red, because lizards get stitches, not because I was in Jello.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I said I was in Jello.
Yeah, no, but you were trying to clean
I said I was in Jello.
I was trying to wash my hands.
You are? Okay. Well, you gotta get them really clean,
When clean, or they're going to be stained.
Yeah. Are they going to be stained tomorrow? And then when we go out, everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, who is that person been giving stitches to? All right. Hey, go upstairs though, okay? Love you.
Okay.
Close that door too. Be careful on the steps. Oh, I love the disagreement, by the way, in chat about how great our lawyer is. You have Jay. He's like, oh man, he's talking, and then you have just Bubba Hip being like, don't use him. No, God, please. And then you have, of course, folks like Peggy. Is like, yeah, you actually have a good lawyer there. And then you have, nope. Actually, Bug would make a better lawyer than just Jay. Oh my God. It's been funny. I've been watching the back and forth there. I love it. The chat cracks me up some days. Okay, let's pull up this document here. Now, this is the relevant 7 pages. Again, some folks I saw in chat were like, that stuff there, that's old. Yes, of course. She linked hundreds, like over 100 pages of what I would say is pretty irrelevant material. Like why put in this stuff at all? Like it has nothing to do with what you're trying to accomplish. And again, her whole point in this is to somehow say, that lawyer over there, he's the bad guy. I mean, they have their conspiracy there is so freaking insane. They can never take credit for screw ups. So let's check this out here. So this is the motion for leave to file an amended motion to dismiss. Motions for the motions, man. Motions for the motions. So comes now. Codley. COD Lee. I love it. Lord. That's what it is. COD Lee. There we go. Pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 7B, files this motion to leave to file an amended motion to dismiss. Respectfully request the court grant leave to file blah, 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 addressing the correct operative claims. So, again, whoopsie, didn't answer the right stuff. Now, why? So on 6/26/2025. Now, first of all, I want you all to embrace that. She has admitted in court that she did not answer the correct claims against her.
Right.
Like, I mean, think about that. Holy God. That cracks me up, man. So, document 79. Defendant Lee filed a motion to dismiss. Defendant Lee files the motion for leave to file an amended motion to dismiss only 1 day after filing her original motion to dismiss. To date, no party or the court has responded to her original motion to dismiss at the time of filing.
That's not true. That's
yeah,
not true.
there was actually a response to it. Yes, 100%. There was indeed.
And just because she didn't turn her thing in before he responded, he told her she could file it, but he disagreed, and she didn't file it. So then I guess he's probably thinking, well, she decided not to. So he responded.
Yeah. Of course he should respond.
Oh, but wait till you see the stupid conspiracy about him responding.
On 2/23/2025, the plaintiff filed his complaint, citing claims of defamation. Okay. On 4/28/2025, amends his complaint to remove all defamation claims. Again, you know, what's funny about that is if you go back and listen to their live stream too, they tried to turn the amended filing where you just add in Ray, you know, when you're going to serve him, to somehow be this older filing. You know, they try to pretend that didn't happen, and they sold it to their audience as a matter of fact. By the way, somebody mailed me a really interesting thing. When they have certain people on, their audience dislikes certain people so much that they leave in mass. You can actually see them just migrate out, you know.
Who is it?
Paint chips and lip.
Yeah. Well, who would want to listen to that?
Well, they know their audience. I mean, if they're gonna have some hardcore people that it doesn't matter what kind of BS they try to serve up. But
How many hands were free?
I hear you coming there. Let's see. Okay, man, you did a good job cleaning it off. Yeah,
hand check.
Is it all went off?
Yeah, you did good. Good job.
It's all went off though.
There's a little bit right here, but you did very good. That's pretty good. It just looks like a little Cheeto dust on one finger.
Yeah, maybe it looks like a tiny little Cheeto dust.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
Maybe that's like it's a little bit of Cheeto dust.
Yeah, a little Cheeto dust now and then. Yep. It won't hurt anybody. And pass between friends, right? All right. Well, go close the door. That does.
A little
you did very
Cheeto
good
dust
there.
between friends.
Hey, go enjoy the access to the TV while you got it. You better go enjoy it. Close the door too. Yes, there's a bigger TV in one of the bedrooms upstairs. I was like, you can watch it for right now because you know you've been good today. So I set her up before the thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I have that thing. I forgot. Oh God, I gotta get out of here." All right, so 4/28/2025 moves claims on 5/10/2025. Defendant Lee was served with the original complaint filed. See, this is some bullshit right here. So she's trying to say that she was served the original complaint on that day, not the amended.
Let's look at the date again on this one. Here, let's look at what's the date? May 6th, Tuesday, May 6th. So she admits she was served on May 10th. Mm-hmm. This 35 was the only document out for service after May 6th. There is no way what she is saying is real. It's not true.
Well, the problem is she admitted on stream as well. I mean, she is lying to the court about this. She's 100%. She admitted that she had it, but didn't read it. I mean, again, she could have, instead of coming up with this mass conspiracy, how it's somehow in some way not going to be her fault, she could have just taken it and been like, yo, I screwed up. I'm a pro se defendant. You know?
Yep.
Judges are much more likely to take that instead of some kind of crazed conspiracy about how, oh my God, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the plaintiff was never served. You want to read?
Yeah. Let's see. The plaintiff. Wait, where are we at?
Where?
Oh, there it is.
Plaintiff
The plaintiff was never served. Defendant Lee with the amended complaint as evidenced in the certificate of service. See Exhibit A. Now, which certificate of service is Exhibit A?
That would be actually.
That's probably the first one where
it is
she.
At the very bottom of.
God.
Service list. Hey, give me a second. See, what in the fuck? What is she trying to say here? I'm very confused by. So, her Exhibit A. I'm trying to make sure I see this correctly. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to have to redact something on this. This is that. Okay. This is that whole filing that comes up. So just give me.
All right, I'll keep reading. On 6/18/25, the plaintiff was granted leave to amend the plaintiff filed his second amended complaint solely premised on him adding. No, this would be the third amended complaint, or no, the second. Right, the second. It would be the second one, but the first.
Did I lose you? Have I lost Megan there? Chat, either I am not hearing or give me 1 second here. Either we have lost somebody. Let me see, chat. I'll have to give you a second. Yeah, Megan. I think I lost Megan in that. All right. Okay. Give me a second. She actually had some power issues today, so we may have actually lost her. So just give me 1 minute. I'm going through and redacting something real fast. I've got to save it. So it's the thing I was redacting, by the way, was filing. It was part 1, exhibit part 1. Yeah, I think she lost power, though. They've been having storms hit. I, of all people, understand that one. But I thought, see, sometimes our internet out here is so spotchy that I thought my internet interrupted. Give me 1 second. I'll pick up where she was. I'm just pulling up the document that I redacted here, too. She, again, the crazy thing about 2L is the fact that she won't take credit for what she herself has done here. And it blows my mind. All right, so we'll pick up on, actually, I'm going to pick up with where Megan started because I don't know what was missed off there. So the plaintiff was never served defendant Lee with amended complaint as evidenced in the certificate of service. Now, when she says that see Exhibit A. Now, Exhibit A is the second amended complaint. All right. So what I was redacting off of that, by the way, there's at the bottom, you have all of the the service list, and she is noted on the service list, strangely enough. So, okay, let's look at the service list. I'm going to pull this document up on its own. This will be Exhibit A. Okay, give me 1 minute. Give me a second. I was switching over because I had I was in the middle of redactions when that crashed out. 1 minute here. Yeah. So, yeah, Megan said she lost Wi-Fi. She's going to reboot and see if she can get back on. So if you look at this, you see, well, first of all, I probably blinded you pulling it up that way. Let me show you what the document is, then I'm going to roll. I think that would have been the best way to handle that. You see Exhibit A, right? Second amended complaint. You can see how this is set up, I mean, you see what this document is. Yeah. And I'm going to scroll. So if you're staring right at it, we're going to scroll real fast. Actually, you know what? We don't even have to do it that way. Let's do it this way. We'll do it from the side. So you can see we get to the bottom, right? When we get to the bottom here, we get to demands and we get to service list. Now on the service list, Lisa Lee as pro se is added to the service list. All right, now what I don't understand is how Exhibit A, what? So what's there? What am I supposed to be noticing again? Can somebody clarify what's supposed to give this away here? I mean, where does it say that to me? But she's saying somehow in some way off of that document that there's proof. But the service list there, you saw the list itself.
Gosh darn it.
That was crazy. Okay, so look, check this out.
I was
This
reading for a really long time. Like, how long was I gone? Because I was reading that whole page. Did anyone?
No, you actually just lost off of. We'll just say, actually, let's just say you should start the page over. That's
okay, I figured.
Okay, well, let's go with. So I was just pointing this out. So Exhibit A, again, remember, she says Exhibit A proves that she was served, right? Not served, as evidenced.
Yeah, that she wasn't served. That's what she said.
Now, if you go over here again, I'm going to show you what's there.
It's not on the screen.
Yeah,
Are you sharing?
I'm pulling it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. So you can see this is Exhibit A for sure, right? Now, instead of scrolling it, this is that doc. You know what document it is. It has 74 pages. Right.
Okay. All right.
So
all right.
when we roll through, I'm rolling off the side, so you don't have to watch me scroll the whole thing. We get down to demands and service lists. Now, if the service list, her name is right here. What's she showing me here? I don't understand. It's here.
As you can see, Your Honor, my name is totally on this list.
Yeah, I mean, what's she trying to point out here? I don't understand what she's trying to reference. Her name is there.
Is there another service document here?
There's nothing else here. There's nothing else. There's no idiots.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's again.
That doesn't make any sense. It just.
And there's no interruption in the document, all right? So, I mean, that's the document itself. You can see the numbers. So I'm not skipping any pages. And your service list comes at the bottom. So what the hell is that supposed to even mean?
Well, I don't know how. But I have more proof that she got this thing. Check this out. This is her transcript from April 28th. Amended complaint is in. New defendant added, LOL. And then here it is, right here. So he's saying that she got this amended complaint. So what he added with Mr. Luthman is pretty frivolous. So this is Luthman acts and Luthman furtherance of weak scheme. Weeks, that's correct. That's me. Dave has a scheme, but hold on. Here's the evidence that Luthman was part of your scheme. Blah, blah, blah. She did an entire show on the amended complaint on April 28th, you guys.
Oh my God, what a
and we have the entire transcript. It's right here.
What a moron. The biggest takeaway and the biggest own in all of that, though, that I think their audience, the whole ecosystem audience, should take from everything is the fact that they don't read documents. Like, they do not read anything. How can you give even an uninformed opinion on something? How do you give any type of opinion when you don't even know the case? And you're being sued, by the way. Like, that's what blows my mind. If I'm being sued, I am damn well going to know all the particulars, all the ins and outs of my case, Yeah,
there's never going to be a time when I'm like, 74 pages. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, that's the weirdest complaint. So many pages.
I'm looking at this transcript. She's literally reading it. She's reading it. She's reading the amended complaint on April 28th on her stream. She's reading through it.
Oh my God, what a moron. I hope Randy busts her with this stuff.
There's no arguing this, you guys. And if you're a part of the Lee's chat or audience, are you going to make excuses for her lying to you openly like this? Are you going to keep making excuses for her when I've shown you beyond a reasonable doubt that she has lied about this? Are you going to keep ignoring it and just continue to support this, that the continued lies? Why is she lying about something that is so easily proven a lie in her own words?
Because this is the worst type of own you can have. If you yourself are being sued and you put in a statement of fact saying this is how I'm going to defend myself. Other people, they laugh about it. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I noticed I made an error. No, you didn't. Sorry about your luck. We did. We laughed at you. You got busted on it. Own it. But no, she can't own that. Instead, she would rather go out. She would lie about, because again, that's the huge reveal. These people don't know anything about how can they give opinions on a case at all? Even in, I can say that people give a misinformed opinion. Like, for example, again, Lips is crazy as Lips is, in my opinion. At least she's been reading through some stuff and trying to make a point, not a cogent point, in my opinion, but still, at least when she was arguing with Bruce, she was trying to make an opinion based on what was said. Hey, here's a case, here's this, here's that.
The chat had a valid question, though, too. They said, wait a minute, it wasn't April 28th before she was served. Yes, the amended complaint went in on the 28th. So on the same day that it was uploaded to the court docket, she had it because she was reading it on her program. That it's true, she wasn't served until May 10th, but she had it. She knew about it. She saw it. So I'm not the covered You covered it.
Covered pieces of it. I'm sorry. As she said, they can't be bothered, though, to read the whole thing. Well, it reminds me of when you got the transcripts about Jeremy. Here, this is what he said in his depo. It came with highlighting. Now, as you know from other filings, the only thing they covered was the highlighted portions. Who highlighted? Bruce. They didn't bring up anything else. If you wanted to truly have some kind of pro or con point, it doesn't matter if you like or dislike a person that you're covering on that. At least make some kind of a salient point. But they don't. I mean, they're used to taking stage direction from people. And then when that fails, they want to play the whole didn't get that. So I guess pick up on 5 would probably be, that was exhibit A. So I'm going to say the first part, but this other part that you got, I don't know where you cut out exactly.
I don't either. I was reading, but anyway, the plaintiff was granted to leave to amend and the plaintiff filed his second amended complaint solely premised on him adding defendant's name and not altering anything else in the complaint on 6/18.
Yeah, that's 6/18.
That's after you were served with 35. You were served with 35 on 5/10. And yes, he did make a second amended complaint just to add Ray, and nothing else changed substantially. And even Bruce said that on that stream that we covered.
It's bad when oh my God, it is bad when Bruce, of all people, is the voice of reason on a stream.
I know, right? Defendant Lee is a pro se litigant and has not been getting notice on court filing beyond the following: formal service of the original complaint filed 2/23/25, which she's lying. She never got formal service of that. Mailed court order document 73 and mailed court order document 74. Well, then how does she explain on April 28th having the document number 35 to read on her show?
She's also mailing, though, and talking about this stuff. She is included in more than one item emails where you've had a back and forth, and for her to say I'm not getting things is absolutely ridiculous.
She's seen every document in this case because they get it off the docket just like everybody else does. Yeah. On June 27th, 2025, defendant
they get it from they get it even worse. I think they get it from some of the stooges out there where they don't have to pay a dime, so they themselves don't get it.
I'm sure Bruce is giving it to them.
Oh yeah,
which is fine. He can do that.
Yeah, I mean, whoever. I don't care.
But I'm sure that Bruce is giving them all these documents because how else do they have them to cover them on their streams? Well, to refer to them. They're not really covering them. Right. On June 27th, 2025, defendant Lee notified plaintiff's counsel, attorney Shockett, spelled wrong, pursuant to Rule 7.1b of the Northern District of Florida's Federal Court Procedures, to request whether attorney Shockett spelled wrong again, would consent to Lee amending her motion to dismiss. This request came just one day after defendant Lee filed her original motion to dismiss on June 26, Exhibit E. Despite receiving notice of defendant Lee's intention to seek leave to amend, attorney Shockett, spelled wrong, refused to consent, and on June 28th, 2025, quickly filed a response. Quickly filed a response.
Does he have to agree?
No, he does not. That's why you confer. Quickly filed a response. Oh no, we're going to go after Randy Shockett for doing his job quickly.
Right.
Filed a response to the original motion to dismiss the following day. This conduct was not only tactical and prejudicial to defendant Lee, but also demonstrates attorney Shockett's efforts to disadvantage a pro se litigant. I'm surprised she didn't put disabled and indigent.
What's amazing for real? What's amazing about that, though, is a pro se litigant is supposed to be treated by courts just like any other litigant.
They're actually supposed to be held to the same standard as a lawyer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're supposed to be held to exact standard. It's supposed to be so saying, they're
disadvantaged pro se.
Yeah, so I mean, you
can get a lawyer, Lisa.
It's especially if a judge. See, you don't want to put shit like that in there because if a judge responds and he shows some kind of prejudicial attitude toward a pro se litigant, again, that's grounds for appeal.
Yep, it sure is. Defendant Lee would request this court to recognize attorney Shockett, still can't spell it right, Shockett's tactical maneuver created from defendant Lee's good faith compliance tactical maneuver, like he's a SEAL Team 6, with this court-required procedural rule 7.1 and not take this into consideration should attorney Shockett, still spelled wrong, argue it is prejudicial since he responded.
See, nothing in this, though, so far, none of it actually takes credit for her screw up.
No, of course not. Wait, I'm on 8, aren't I?
No,
Wait.
you just finished 8.
Did I finish 8? Oh, defendant Lee submits this as further evidence that attorney Shockett, still shockingly spelled wrong.
Shockett. I like it as Shockett, though.
I do too, because then Speechify will say it right. I wish all the filings had his name spelled like this, because then I can listen on Speechify and it won't say Shochet.
Shochet. I've heard that a bunch of times. I actually like that. Shochet. Shochet. Yeah. I feel like I could dance to that, though. You know,
change his name spelling to Shocket. Actually,
it really does. Like, come on, let's dance. Shochet. Macabre. Oh, Shochet. Yeah.
Macabre.
Shochet. Macabre. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Attorney Shockett is intentionally failing to provide proper notice of filings in this case, denying defendant Lee her due process rights.
All right, let me stack the papers. Let me get this right. Okay, let me get it. I was like, damn it, I will work that in there. Oh shit.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay.
You read.
Okay. Defendant Lee seeks to amend her motion to dismiss to address the claims of the most recent second amended complaint, Doc 76. She, again, oh my God. The most recent, like it's all somehow changed up on her. What a moron. I mean, what an absolute moron. You know, we're going to pretend that it's all the items in 76 and not, remember, that is not the newest, that is an amended one, but in the amended item there, all that did was change up a name. The actual amended filing, though, that she had, I want you to think about this. That was way back at 35. That's right. So this document they're trying to point to and pretend. See, she's trying to pull a little a sleight of hand with the court and say, essentially, this 76 is the newest document where everything changes. No, the document where things change is back in 35. The only change, again, is 76 is Ray's name. She's playing a game there. It's some bullshit, you know? Mm-hmm. So she's telling us, look, she incorrectly relied on the claims in the original complaint, Doc 1.
baloney.
So you're telling me you didn't look at 35?
She did. April 28th. Yep. I have the transcript.
But look, she's saying all this. I mean, her audience needs to look at this. These morons are telling you she's never read a document since then. All of the documents that they've been talking about where people reply to, she hasn't read any of the formalized complaint. How the fuck do you take the opinion of someone like that? Either she owns the mistake, which is still an epic screw up on her part because she's telling you, I don't read documents, or she doesn't own that, which is even worse because when you make a mistake, you've got to own it. You know, you screw up sometimes. Now, God, to screw up like that when I'm being sued, holy no. Oh my God, there. That's nuts. None. That she was formally served on, which cites claims of defamation. Upon discovering she relied on incorrect complaint. Yeah.
Discovering. Yeah, you really discovered it.
Upon being embarrassed because these people mocked me. Oh my God. I'm surprised we didn't see that. They mocked me, Judge. It was part of a conspiracy. I didn't screw up. They planned all of this so they could make fun of me. Oh my God. Upon discovering that, defendant promptly sought to address the issue the following day. By the way, what's the timeline on this? Let me just.
Actually, she didn't put it in the following day. So she's lying about that too.
The 28th. Look, that's the thing. If you look at the date, she's like, "All right, I got it on the 26th. I noted this on the 27th, and the 28th is."
But she didn't file this until what's the date this went in? What date did this go in? Today? 7/2. Yeah. Filed on 7/2. That is not the next day.
Wait. Is this mailed though?
It doesn't matter. It got onto the docket. What counts is the day it goes onto the docket, not the day you mail it. It doesn't count. That doesn't count. The day you mail it. That's stupid.
I'm looking at even what they tried to add here.
Get this. Okay, so she claims on the 28th, which was a Saturday, by the way. So wait, the 26th, she realizes that she screwed up. 27th, she doesn't file anything. The 28th, she claims to have had the email communication with Randy. That was a Saturday. Then Sunday. The 30th is a Monday. She doesn't file anything that day. Then Tuesday's the 1st. Wednesday's the 2nd. Thursday's the 3rd. And it goes in on the 2nd. Wednesday. That's not the next day.
Well, this package, later. The mailing, actually the package here that's mailed, by the way.
Uh-huh.
The date on it is the July the 1st.
Well, so exactly. So this timeline is crap. She's lying to the judge about the timeline too. The very next day. No, Lisa, if you discovered on the 26th that you screwed up, the very next day would be the 27th. You did not file anything that day. You waited the entire weekend. You told him you were going to file something right away. Then you didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Randy's just thinking, well, she's decided not to because I told her it would be a bad idea. And he goes ahead and he files his response.
He's allowed to file a response, man. I do not have to take their word on what they're going to do anyway.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, that's an absurdity. If I had to take these people at their word, people who are lying right now while they're filing things, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm redacting that.
Lying so obviously. It's so easy to catch them.
I mean, God, she's lying about ever reading this or anything. Again, at some point, you would think an audience, whether they hate a person or not, they would at least demand some type of honesty. Sometime. You can't sit around and just point the finger at other people and blame them for every mistake you make. And you make a lot of them, by the way.
Hey, even the judge in this case admitted he made a mistake and he had to vacate one of his orders.
I was redacting when we get to the back end of this, you can see the mailing portion. That's what I was redacting out of there. That's why it took me a minute.
You mean you redacted out her private address, her home address?
I tried
to. That was so nice of you, Tug.
I try to,
I was
even though they don't.
I was told that, doxing is perfectly fine. But, it's interesting how only some of us decide to redact things.
Did you know they changed rules, laws in Tennessee that just went into effect with doxing? If you post with a malicious intent, that that's a problem here now. So we finally have. I think
every state ought to have.
Yeah, well, we should have had those a long time ago, but we finally do. So we're fine. The problem is that online doesn't catch up. In Tennessee, a lot of red states are like this too. One of the things you try to balance, of course, is freedom of speech. Like, we have strong protections for that, while also you need to balance some protections for people. And unfortunately, those have woefully lagged behind, especially with online behavior. Online behavior, like if you talk to police about something, half the time they say things like, how do we prove that's them? And it's like, they're posting under their own name, it's attached to their IP. Well, can we still prove it's them? In Tennessee, it's terrible with that. So, but defendant Lee brings forth this request in good faith. No party will be prejudiced by blah, blah, blah. So memorandum in support. Under Rule 15A2, leave to amend should be freely given when justice so requires. So does justice so require that?
Yeah.
This time, when stupid shall not prevail.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know what? I take issue with her saying that she filed this in good faith. She told so many lies already.
Oh, yeah.
She should be charged with perjury for this.
This judge, though, man, he doesn't have the stones to actually do any of that.
He's no Judge Mata. I'll tell you that. Judge Julie, I'd love to see Judge Julie Mata on this case. She'd already have referred a few mothers to the county attorney.
Yeah. She would have. I mean, these lies they're transparent. That's the problem. I mean, they're so bad. We're not talking about like a little item you could disagree on or not. No. Oh, by the way, did you see? Did you see the stuff with John Cook? We still haven't gotten around to talking about everything with John Cook, his filing from the other day. Mm-hmm. But there was a follow-up too we'll need to discuss today. It's very short, but when he triggered all that mess that happened the other day. Yeah. he got a ruling on that, The ruling was sorry about your luck. I thought that was funny.
We did talk about that, I think.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the ruling that came in for his request because it came in as moot. Yesterday that's when it came in.
Oh, wait. His request about the status?
Yeah.
I thought we did. I thought we covered that.
No, because the status update came in yesterday when we were on. Yeah.
We
talked about it. I think we mentioned that. Remember, we missed a day yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We got hit with 7 documents that first day, which is really
that was a lot.
Confusing. Yeah.
That was a lot.
But yesterday...
But I don't expect, by the way, I didn't expect any sanctions for Bruce to come in before the holiday weekend. There was no chance anybody was working either today or obviously tomorrow. And I didn't think we were going to get that right away. Yeah, we should. It's been sitting on his desk for God knows how long.
Yeah, he says he has it. He said it's done. So
I know.
No, I expect to be disappointed by it, just to be honest.
Oh yeah, me too. I don't think he's going to
expect a lot of language about both parties and blah blah bullshit. And this guy though, he doesn't even show up. He middle fingers the judge, and the judge just takes it. I've never seen a judge like. Typically, with a judge in their courtroom, I'm like, man, these guys are over. They're too heavy-handed when it comes to courtrooms. You need a lie. I've never seen a judge just lay down and take it from somebody like this. I haven't.
I know. He's a very weak judge. He's very weak.
Yeah. It's bizarre to see.
He's very low T. We'll put it that way. He
came on. He came on.
He strikes me as like somebody who pretends to be tough and then really isn't.
Well, he talked a big game about how he wasn't going to take any nonsense, and then he's still taking.
Oh yeah, Alfie, that's true. I did say I expected it the next day when I saw the ruling. I forgot it was a 4th of July week. Though.
Yeah, the holiday. Yeah.
When I realized it was the 4th
day.
of July, when I realized it was the 4th of July week, I was like, oh crap, we're not going to see anything until after this weekend. Like for sure, because I bet people are out. I bet clerks are out. I bet they didn't even work today for the most part. So yeah, it was because I didn't realize I forgot it was a holiday week. We weren't going to have a short week.
We'll see if it actually comes up when that's when you're expecting it. You're expecting it to happen when they're all back in office.
Yep. And I don't, and the longer it goes though, I'll say right now, if he doesn't drop it on Monday, my hopes for it coming at all are going to start to drop. Because
if it doesn't drop the hammer again, I think that you could even make the argument for being prejudicial in the way that he responded to things. I think you already have a case, just to be honest, because of the behavior that they've had, and I think there's a lot set up with that. So,
by the way, Dinesh Noshiviran had a update in his case today. I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
So he has been his opponents have been ordered to pay his attorney's fees. And
for no discovery, because they wouldn't come off of anything whatsoever.
And they've been ordered to turn over discovery within a certain amount of time now. But plus they have to pay the attorney's fees that it cost him to file motions to compel. And the judge is saying that they can also be held responsible for the harassers that they brought into the case.
Yeah, he didn't want to say a lot on that. You could tell, like he mentioned it, but you don't want to disturb something that's in process, So he was like, I don't want to say very much on it, but and that's good, because if they set a foundation for hired harassers, then you have to. If Paint Chips gets acknowledged as a hired harasser, then he has a problem. By the way, I'm going to make this clear one time too. There are many people in the ecosystem that they are shopping around this idea that since Paint Chips was banned, that they can have him on because his channel was banned, not the person. And that's not how that works. When you have somebody, when they get banned on YouTube, they are a banned person, not a channel. So having them on and stuff, that opens your channel up for getting hit as well.
YouTube's already told him they're using voice recognition, and if he tries to ban evade, they're going to find him. So that means anybody who puts him on their channel is opening themselves up.
I mean, so many of them have, including, I think, even Stupa. I mean, these folks, they think they know better. Like, some of them absolutely know better than that, but they think that nothing will happen. And it's the same argument that was utilized with the revenge prawn. Nothing would happen to this guy. You remember that? What happened to them? If nothing was going to happen, then what happened to their channel?
Well, they think they know YouTube, but apparently they don't read the terms of service on the platform where they make their money. It's interesting, and they should really read the terms of service. And if they think they're going to get, our channels hit, we obey the terms of service. Sometimes painfully so, like where we redact things we don't have to redact. We don't use words. Yeah, we don't use words that we think will trigger YouTube and their censorship. We're very, very careful because we don't want to. For one, we respect the platform's rules. And that's it. TOS is something you sign, you agree to. You agree to those rules in order to have a channel. So whether you think they're stupid or not or whatever, you better abide by them if you want to keep your channel. So, and we're pretty good about that. I mean, we try real hard to make sure we stay within those boundaries, to stay within those lines.
I'm making my note. I try to keep a running note of what goes on in this case. Day to day, I've been making little entries on it and going back and reading it. Oh my God, you should try that. Like, put in make a paragraph to 2 paragraphs about everything that happens, and then go back and read it in a month. Just look at the insanity that this case is, Because in the moment, it's one thing to look at it in the moment, but I mean, if you write down again and write it by hand, that always makes it more entertaining. You know, if you type something out, that's one thing, but just reading it in your own handwriting where you can see the emotion in it and stuff, like, oh my God, these people are so stupid. Writing it today, I can see it in my handwriting. All right, so unless the opposing party can show prejudice, bad faith, or undue delay, a court should grant leave to file an amended pleading. I don't read documents. Here, the plaintiff cannot show prejudice, bad faith, or undue delay. This is because defendant Lee filed motion to dismiss on the 26th, document 79, the day prior filing the motion to dismiss. Filed her motion to dismiss the day. Wait, what? This is because filed her motion the day prior to file.
Wait, filed her motion to dismiss on 6/26, the day prior to filing this motion to amend. But no, you didn't. You didn't file this on 6/27. You're lying. You filed it on 7/2.
Well,
it says so.
Okay. Well, this is the thing. Okay, so I'm going to take. All right, this is page 3. Okay, so I'm going to guess that this is, our mailing to the court, right? That's what this would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So there's the date on it. It's mailed on
July 1st. Why is she lying to the court and then handing them the evidence that she lied to the court?
I don't understand. Well, it's the same thing with the I wasn't on the service list, and you look at it and it's like, wait, but you're listed on the service list. I don't understand what your point is.
I think Randy ought to file a response and include her own exhibits in it.
Yeah, just file a bunch of her shit in there.
Here's her exhibit where she says her name's not on it. Clearly her name's on it.
What's up, kiddo?
What's up, everyone? And that's money.
Yeah, I know.
Money.
She saw that. She can see my phone. My phone's sitting out, so she saw the super chat from Lily. She's like, money. She pointed right at it, like, there, that's money.
Money.
Cracks me up with that.
Let's see how much money. It's 2.
Yeah, that's right. That was a 2. Mm-hmm. It's very good. You're getting very good with your numbers and stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Some good counting.
Hey, you busted out that 10 fast, though. Actually, one of the things with
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
actually,
7, 8,
if
9, 10.
What is 2 plus 2?
2 plus 2 is.
Oh, she saw money come in. She was like, 2 plus 2 is money coming in.
No, I was trying to tell you there was money.
What's that one right there?
$4.
Yeah, that's $4.99, so that would be 5. Yeah, you're right though. It's 4. It's from
1, 2. 2 plus 2 is 4.
That's right. You are so smart there. That's from My Favorites. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
That says it's for you. That was for you.
Thank you.
This is from Just Bubba Hip. Can you say thank you? That was for you too. That's how much is that?
Thank you.
How much is that for? What's that number? 20. That's right. It says here you go. So that's for you too. That's awesome. All right. Hey, come here. Give me a hug. Hey, we gotta finish our thing tonight though. Here, give me a hug. All right. Go upstairs. You better enjoy that before you.
Kevin, another hug. The sun's going down
of course.
too.
You can have a hug. Can I have a kiss on my cheek right here? Mwah. Thank you.
The sun's going down.
It's all the way down, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all the way down. It is. It's like 8:40 still.
All the way?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. It's nighttime, baby. If you want to go enjoy yourself for a few, you're gonna have to go to bed soon. And if you want to go somewhere tomorrow, where you get to have that good food. Good to have that homemade ice cream. Oh my God. So good. My aunt, she makes some of the best food. You get that old Southern style cooking, but they crack out every freaking time they come out. They crack out the homemade ice cream, and I love that stuff. It reminds me of the best thing I can compare it to is if Wendy's Frosties, if you could take that taste that they have, but just make it 100 times better, but that base there, like Wendy's Frosties comes closest.
What flavors does she make?
Chocolate is what I asked for. I mean, she can make different kinds, but typically, like for myself,
I used to have an ice cream maker when I was a kid. I used to love doing it. It was fun. I remember. I remember making a strawberry with real strawberries. Oh God, is that taste good?
Oh, good stuff, man. Thank you, Janice, by the way. When she comes back, I'll know that there were 2 others that came in for her. She's Janice and Bunsen. They both came in. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. Actually, what I do appreciate is, for the longest time, I used to have the kids, that come on and read with me and stuff. And some of the anti-fandoms, like when they would come on, whether that be comic books or those Hardies were nuts. Actually, anime nuts. Everyone they made it where I was like, the kids, they can read, so I don't really want them to see this stuff. But I have to say, with what we've covered right now, the kids community, it is so controlled, and it's just.
I know
so
the chat's always so kind when the kids are in there, and they're always sending messages for them to read, which is really sweet.
Always positive,
I know it's good that you guys are so sensitive to the kids being around. It's nice.
I want them to, I don't want them to be deceived on. Yes, there's stranger danger when it comes to this stuff, but at the same time, I don't want them to take this so negative impression. I want them to see that there are really good people out there too.
Right.
And they do see it. Every time we go to the P.O. box, it's like, holy God, 99 things out of 100 would be like for the kids. They get like craft product. They get stuff like when I was a kid. I wish I got like crafting beads and all the stuff like they do. Man, it's absolutely amazing. They can go after anything they want to do like that. And I remember being a kid, wishing I could have fabric for this or make that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's see. 14. Here, the plaintiff cannot show prejudice, bad faith, or undue delay. I can say show lies.
I think he can show bad faith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and then the day following this motion to amend, what a lie!
Why lie? That's the why lie. Because she wants to prejudice the court against Randy. She's trying the Bruce tactic. Randy needs to step on this shit because we saw how far the Bruce stuff went. That is the only, again, I never thought I would criticize a person for being a professional, but these people are so awful. And the real issue in this, it's not Randy. The person who's supposed to deal with this stuff is the judge, the court. But they let this stuff just keep going on. So I think you have to, I don't know. I think you have to try to step on it fast. I'm not sure.
I agree.
I've never seen a judge let things spiral so out of control though. And again, it taints, and he's made statements that, again, it makes me wonder about Fed too anyway. So no party or court has responded. No, how can you say no party has responded?
Right, because he did respond. And didn't she say earlier in that he filed a response?
Yes, she did. When she requested consent. Oh, she's saying when it was requested, it hadn't been there yet. Yeah, it was definitely filed though. He didn't have to agree. You don't have to get consent. In fact, I seem to remember a certain party out of all of the parties that were out there in adding Ray. I seem to remember one very vocal party saying that they did not agree to an amended complaint to add Ray. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I seem to remember that being 2L, which they were allowed to do. They are allowed to say, I don't agree to this happening. They tried to fight putting in Ray. They put in filings to say that they fought it. So, again, if they didn't agree, if he didn't, he's allowed to. You want to read this page, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Get over here. All right. Certificate. Where am I at the bottom or here? Consent to
We're at the
amend.
top. Yeah,
Okay.
we're at the very top.
The plaintiff timely and promptly seeks to amend prior to any party or the court responding to her motion to amend filed on 6/26/25. Therefore, defendant Lee respectfully requests that the court grant her leave to file her amended motion to dismiss attached here to Exhibit C. Oh, God, we still have to go through that.
Well, we're not going to have time to go through that tonight. There's no way.
It's really long, too.
It is. Well, what's redonkulous is, though, she already puts in an amended motion to dismiss before there's before there's permission to put one in.
Mm-hmm.
So she went ahead and made one, put it in here again. You know, is that what we're supposed to be doing?
I have no idea. I don't understand how she thinks she's going to get away with this. But, you know, again, with this judge, maybe she will. This whole thing has been really frustrating. It's
crackheaded is what it is. It's a bunch of crackheaded nonsense. You know, this judge is allowed. But yeah, she typically, again, she's asking, just to put this in perspective, folks, she is asking to add an amended motion to dismiss. So, hey, will you give me permission to put one in? But she adds it as an exhibit. It's
just nuts.
How do you state? She already did it. Could you imagine again? Can you imagine Randy pulling some bullshit like this? He'd have this judge. This judge would be down his freaking throat.
Oh, he would be down his throat so fast.
Good God. Oh my God, this is so funny. Like I'm looking through their definition of how this is filed. I bet you money there's all kinds of fun, all types of fun times to be had in this filing too. I'd like to know who wrote the filing, by the way, because you know Fats didn't write this filing. That's 100%. Fats did not fight the filing. I can look at it and tell you right off the bat. You know what I like too? You want to see something funny in it though that I noticed. Remember we were making fun of footnotes, how they get to preposterous sizes sometimes. You know, with Bruce, you remember in the past, like his would go to just insane sizes. So check this out. In her amended filing, I did notice this. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so when you get into about the halfway mark, I noticed this. Check this out here. Here's the footnotes. Watch. Look. They keep getting bigger. And look. Oh wait.
Oh, the footnotes are so crazy.
Bigger. Look, this is half the page.
I know the footnotes are so crazy. And what does this have to do with? This is the part that I don't understand. So none of this relates to anything in the claims against her. Jeremy's behavior in a deposition that's not about her, and even if it is about her, has nothing to do with the claims against her. It's so strange. I don't understand her argument at all, and it seems geared to just prejudice the judge against Jeremy.
It's supposed to prejudice the judge
by saying, "Look at all this bad behavior," but it has nothing to do with the claims.
The whole point, and she said that. But see, she said that if we're talking about the point, she said that Randy would not be able to respond since this comes in on holiday week. And so it would set all week. You know what I don't know what she thinks that accomplishes, because it's not like the judge is going to sit around and read it over the weekend. You know, judge isn't thinking about anything that goes on, you know, they're out the door. Their 9 to 5 is over. You know, they're out doing shit. They get every holiday. You think the banks are bad? Woo, man. Courts, they take every damn holiday. And you better believe that judge is out there just living it up. He's not thinking about this case that he hates, and he's noted that he hates, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's our certificate conferred but unable to completely resolve issues, by the way. Notified. Plaintiff denies consent. Yep. Oh, that is actually true. That part is for 100%. I hereby certify that on the 27th to Randy. Let me make sure that date is correct. So they did mail back and forth on the 27th. That is when that came in. But again, when they add the mailing itself that pops in, that has a date on it as well, the 1st. And it's checked on the 2nd. So
this is crazy.
it is bizarre. I mean, I feel like I'm being like gaslit. You know what I mean?
That's what they're always doing. They're always gaslighting all of us about everything, telling the exact opposite of what has happened. And I've shown, we've been able to show you guys how the lies, how bold they lie about things, and yet people still tune in for this. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
The tuning in, okay, if they want to watch a shit show, fine. What I don't get is people who they refuse to look at everything that's out there. And I mean, truly look at it. Because you see proof that you're being lied to. Man, by the way, one second, I got called. I had to take some aspirin. And this freaking chewable aspirin, man. Ugh. It's just like chewing powder, it's like
yeah, it's pretty bad.
I noticed, by the way, that so today we also had other things pop up too. People have mentioned, like Shara dropped a video. If you did not check that out, you definitely should. We'll get around to covering again. There's so much crap that is dropped in this case right now that is hard to keep up with, but we need to go over that. But again, Shara Wolf, just look that name up and you will find her video. But we also have a bunch of, I think I'll run through a couple of documents this weekend too.
The chat says that Lynette filed for bankruptcy today.
Really?
If that happened,
is that true?
That doesn't, it doesn't protect you from civil judgments.
Nope. I thought bankruptcy was this terrible, monstrous thing, by the way. Like I talked about, remember the one thing that they've tried to target me for is filing bankruptcy. And I filed. Fuck yeah. I filed twice, actually. Again, my
sometimes it has to be done. But there's no issue with that. But if she's
protect you from this,
it doesn't protect you from civil judgments. It only can delay it, really.
Actually, I wonder too. Did she report all of this income that she's had come in as part of her?
Laura Owens just tried to do this, or said she was thinking about declaring bankruptcy, or her stupid lawyer said that publicly, and it's like, yeah. So the thing is, the bankruptcy courts, they're really hard about lying to them. If you lie to a bankruptcy court about income, they will find out and they will come after you. It's worse than any other court you could be in to lie to, because bankruptcy court does not care. If you lie to them, you're in serious trouble. There were financial experts and bankruptcy experts talking about this in the Owens case, about how lying to the bankruptcy court is honestly the worst thing you can do. So if she didn't report it all to the bankruptcy court, I mean, I don't know. It can't go well. Let's hope that she did not lie to the court and told them the right thing if she did this. But I don't think it's going to protect her from a civil judgment.
I don't know. All of it makes me want to dance. Dance. A little short. Dancing, baby. I don't know why he gave me I don't know why he gave me little arms like that though. It was really bizarre.
I know you have like little dinosaur arms.
Yeah. It was like, why is he giving me those? Because it only decided for that. Like you can see when he reads, look, his arms are longer. Although he does look like he has like a nicotine patch or something on. If you notice this one arm, look, there's something there, like a bandage or something.
Oh, what is that?
I have no idea. I just puts it in there. All I told it was have him read something like it looks like he's going over a news report or something. That was its answer. I was joking about fascinating. All right, I'm going to go through some.
By the way, exceptions to certain civil judgments that are not dischargeable and under bankruptcy include those for fraud, willful or malicious injury like defamation.
Yeah.
So You're not. You can't get out of it. You can't get out of a defamation lawsuit by declaring bankruptcy. It doesn't work. That's an exception.
But she also, I mean, again, this opens up a real interesting question, because you had a guy out there that talked about donating $56,000 or over $56,000 to these people. And if she did
Lynette,
file that today,
for her, not for Lisa, for Lynette.
So if she has indeed filed that, and they are sitting on and hiding money, oh man, you think things are bad now? Again, I don't know 100. I haven't seen proof of the thing yet. So, that's something that was stated by others. I've not seen any, and there's nothing wrong with. Again, I am not at all going to bat for like banking institutions, our medical system, which bankrupts people. Man, screw them. Like that's definitely not what I'm saying. Bankruptcy happens, but if it is a move to try to hide income, and they've had more money coming in lately than probably ever seen in their lives. I mean, it's nuts. The amount of money anyway they have as a household that they were talking about. I mean, that's quite a bit of money when you think about it, too. Let me see. I'm going to go over supers. You sticking or?
I got to go, actually.
Hey, can you hold it down for 1 minute while I
can
pitch the little one, and then just give me 1 minute, okay?
Sure. So I'm looking in Florida's specific laws about bankruptcy and civil judgments. And it says that a civil judgment for defamation in Florida can be affected by bankruptcy, but there are specific considerations due to the nature of defamation judgments. A defamation judgment may be dischargeable under Chapter 7 bankruptcy unless the judgment was based on willful and malicious injury, which is what we're talking about. We're talking about per se defamation, which is willful and malicious by definition. So she would not be able to get out of a judgment for malicious defamation. If the court finds the defamation to be willful, intentional, and malicious, then it's typically non-dischargeable, which means you still have to pay it, even if you declare bankruptcy. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence that she's done this. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a statement out there. And again, even if that's true, I'm not. There are questions that I would have about the why and wherefore, but everything else, I mean, again, bankruptcy.
Lots of people declare bankruptcy for lots of reasons. It might not even be related. Who knows? All right, I'm going to run.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yep. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I was under that cover the whole time. How did you not see me?
I heard you sneak down just then. I heard you.
But you didn't see me.
Oh, by the way, you want to? You had two other people that sent you money as well, kiddo. Did you know that?
Can I say a lot, please?
Well, I'm gonna have to go over this stuff in just a second. You can stay down here for a minute, okay?
Everyone.
You had, can you say thank you to Bunsen? He sent you a 2 there. You see that?
Thanks, Bunsen.
And Janice sent $20 there. Said, there you go. Some funds for you, ice cream or candy, pet foods, whatever. Isn't that cool? You've got a pet, don't you?
A spider.
You got a what now? What did you say?
Spider.
A spider. Oh, my goodness.
A pink-toed spider.
Yes, a pink-toed spider. That's right.
It's pink-toed.
It is cute, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can see his pink toes at nighttime, but I can see it at daytime.
You can. What's her name?
I need to Patricia, because look at it. It has pink toes.
What'd you say? What's her name now? Patricia? Patricia?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new name. Did you just give her that new name?
Yeah, I was going to name a cookie, but
yeah,
I named my fish Cookie.
Yeah, that's one of your first ones I think you haven't named after a food product, It's kind of surprising. Almost everything has a food name.
Did I name one popcorn one time?
Yeah.
Which one did I name popcorn?
I don't remember. Was that fish that you had?
I think so.
Yeah, that was that fish you had one time. You named Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah. You can name that as a middle name. Patricia Popcorn, something,
Dad, you let me down.
You gotta jump down. I gotta go over my super chats though. You better go enjoy the TV while you have access to it. Say bye, by the way.
Bye. Have a good day, everyone.
Yep. Have a good dream, right?
Have a good dream and have a good day in the morning.
Yep. Have a good day in the morning. That's right.
And have a good night.
And have a good night too. Indeed.
Everyone.
Indeed. Hey. All right. You be good. Okay. Love you.
What did you say?
I said, all right. We'll be good.
But I heard.
Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say thank you to Cynic in Chief, by the way? $5. There you go. Yeah.
Why did you not tell me that?
Why not tell? Well, because you end up with part of money anyway. Every time we go out to eat or anything else, we get food. We go to the farmer's market or
we go to Muffy's Candy Shop.
Yeah, or if we go to candy shops or we buy books. All right. Okay. Well, hey, you gotta go upstairs, okay? I'll see you. Okay. Love you.
Mwah.
Mwah. Back at you. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get the ones outside first. Make sure here. I saw that Wanda sent 25 there. Said, for the good news, Doug, love the show. Well, thank you there. Yeah, I was, like I said, if you missed that statement about that newest doctor, I was pretty happy with in the fact that they took so much more time. It was Vanderbilt attachment. Now, to continue tests and stuff, God, it'll probably extend the time going to I need to add on a neurologist and some other stuff. And yeah, we'll be talking about another 2 months to get all that situated. But the answer, at least that it's not in the moment ending things. I cannot believe that last doctor though told me that the angiopathy, which again, with the brain fog, some days it's bad. It hits. You can tell when I'm having a problem grabbing specific words. I have some days every now and then while I'm trying to get through that. But, there's a difference in just having something that causes confusion every now and then and something that is truly eroding your memory and causing problems. I watched my grandmother. She had Alzheimer's and it was horrible. And that terrified me when I heard that. So much better to hear. Also, let's see. I'm going to say RH. Thank you. There's also, hey, what's up, Cunning Linguist? Thank you. Sent an email about medical malpractice. Will you kick that up to the top of the, will you kick that back up to me again? Just to make sure that I saw that. Because yesterday, I get flooded with emails. If for some reason I do miss something, it's still in there, I'm sure. Or it could have gone to spam. I don't know. But if I'm not looking for something, I will miss things. And again, apologies if I miss a letter from you. I try to read everything from people. I don't get to respond to everything. Oh, man. I mean, that's the only thing I hate, by the way, out of channels. I wish I had time to respond to everything. I'll get, some days I'll get 150 emails and then messages on top. And I just don't know how to respond to all that. I wish I did, though. But I do appreciate when people write. Like I said, I try to read as much as I can. Now, I like this. Rosilla kicking off. Thanks for the 5. What's the difference between a baby and the ecosystem? After a while, the baby stops crying. That is indeed true. That is indeed. Shame. Cunning Linguist. I did see this one too, so it's on the same thing. I don't think I saw it yesterday. I was really out of it, by the way. Give me 1 second. I can clear my throat. But I may have missed it. So again, if you kick it back to the top, I appreciate that. And thank you to Cunning Linguist too. Debbie, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Debbie. It's much appreciated too. The Temu crew, thank you. Hashtag Temu crewing it up. That is awesome. I love it. I love that became its own thing. I love that too. Alex, man, dropped a $50 super sticker, by the way. I did see that one when it dropped, and that is much appreciated. Thank you. Also, the higher level superstars, some of them I've never seen. So I always like that because you know they have them at specific levels. I think we have a big storm rolling in. Sounds like insanity outside. If I lose power for some reason, you know what happened. I think we're getting hit there. But thank you, Alex, man. That is very, very appreciated. I love, by the way, your avatars. They're funny. They crack me up there. Timu Crew, on top of that, sent 10 gifted memberships. I saw those fall in too. Thank you for that as well. That is much appreciated, like I say. I love it. I love it. I love the stickers. I love the gifted memberships. I love some of the features that get added in here. Jack's mom, thank you for the gifted membership too. Thank you for that as well. Jack's mom, what's up? I love it. Rhea Rye, thanks for the 10. Today is mine and Mark's 41st anniversary. That's awesome there. The day we met on a blind date. That is so cool. 41 years. Man, you not only you really outdid the odds on that too. You know, I love seeing relationships that last, that truly last. And people having a bond, like an individual bond. You know, everybody goes through moments in life. You have the great ones, you have some down ones, and just to see people persevere and to have a good bond. It seems like you all have a really good relationship. I always love seeing that. But he was leaving to go to the Army. I was at school, about to do my A levels. 2 sons. Many laughs later, here we are. That is totally great here. I'm going to play the happy birthday song. I don't have a happy anniversary song, so I want to play something for that. Here we go. Let's see if I can correct that.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true.
41.
Happy birthday.
Happy anniversary.
We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Hey, that's great though. Congrats to you guys. Like I said, I really appreciate you all. Carl, what's up, Carl, man? You know, this is so random, but I was watching some Walking Dead, thinking about, I didn't watch the back end season on that. The name Carl has been stuck in my mind because of that today. So it's totally random, but still. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tug's Thugs. And that Spark there too. I've been watching, there's a channel called, give me 1 minute. I'm going to make sure I get this right. I've been watching this breakdown channel called Better Watch TV, and they break down stuff that happened with Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. They do some of the best breakdowns I've ever freaking seen on a TV show. You know, some of the stuff, you have those 31 things you didn't know, and you're like, whatever. It's actually what those should be. So I don't know how I got on that subject, but I've been watching a lot of those. I love that freaking channel. I like to park my TV on that and listen to stuff in the daytime. Max Lab. What's up, Max Lab? Thank you for the super chat there. And also, thanks for keeping up with stuff too, my friend. You know, appreciate it. There. Today was a crazy one with all that documentation. And again, one of the documents that did drop in, we did get to see what 2L is trying to insert into the court, by the way. I mean, we did see that document, which is, again, it's such a messed up way of trying to push and promote a document. You know, they're like, hey, imagine this. Imagine saying, can I have permission to enter a document? By the way, here's that document. That doesn't seem to be the right way of going about it. But I mean, we'll see what happens with it too. Looking at the way the document is written, by the way, I think it's funny that they make comments. See, this is a really interesting thing that that Lips needs to remember, by the way. They talk about opinion or hyperbole when they're saying people are scammy or they're shady, they're scammers, or they're stalkers, you know. Now they try to say that embezzlement that's personal, not related to a product or service. Okay, but I think it's funny when they're trying to take up for wording, and you look up like Lips. Remember, Lips wants to sue based on being called things like an idiot, a clown. Remember, that's so they sit online and make the case that what she filed is garbage. They do it all the time. Even part of the ecosystem puts it in. That's so mess. By the way, thank you, Andre, out of clinic. What do you think about my lips? They are beautiful. They are beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you different. That's so lovely. Dan Davis, thanks for the 5. Good news today. The county finally released the permit for power. Good, man. That is, you know, yeah, counties love to drag their feet with things, you know. They do. Like I've had to help get permissions with my grandfather. It's my step grandfather. He runs nursery. You know, he has a booming nursery business, which I wish I saw anything from. But some of the stuff that comes up as more and more land is incorporated, it's kind of fascinating. You know, it's sad too. We're seeing more influx from other states, you know, not just landing in Tennessee, but landing in rural Tennessee. And man, the land, like his land, I know after he passes and then people attached to him pass, they'll end up selling off part of that, you know, and they'll develop it. It's sad. The areas, I remember when I was growing up, where I drove out to the Vanderbilt doctor, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you've ever seen it or been there, heard about it, when I was little, that was nothing. Smartt, Tennessee, which is huge these days. That was like a cow field with some little roads running through it. Now these are booming places. It's amazing to see. But yeah, dealing with that, God, I don't know how anybody gets stuff done sometimes. So props to a county. Getting a permit from him. Were you right? Thanks for the tip. Been sick in bed all day. I'll be watching. Man, get better, by the way. It sucks. I hope it's nothing. Yeah, I hope it's like here. It's just seasonal garbage. You know, I'm not sure. Yeah, but that's the way it is here. Oh, it's rough. Mom to an Angel. Love that name, by the way. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. And welcome to Tux Thugs. Thanks for being here, by the way. That is a great name, by the way. I like it. I did see, too, there were 2 requests for Muppets, too. Where I've been away, I haven't had a chance, obviously, to make those, but I did get them. If for some reason, if I don't, I'll catch a few of those up this weekend. If I miss something, because like I said, I get this huge influx of stuff. If I don't bring it up, say tomorrow, where you've requested it, then just bump it up and send it again. Because with so much stuff going on. But I didn't get a few of those, and thank you. The Floofy Cat, thanks for the 5 there. The Floofy Overlord's turn 4. Oh, loves that the U.S. celebrates birthday with him on the 4th. Oh, that's great. Yes, that is actually what that's about. You may think that's the 4th of July, but truly, that is the celebration there. And let's give a birthday song.
Happy birthday!
A 4th birthday, my bad.
From all of us to you. Happy birthday.
Bust that birthday up, yeah.
May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
By the way, Megan did a great job with that. She made that. I put together a couple of the things through AI, and she put together a song and everything. She was like, I'm going to whip one up for it. She did. She did a great job with it. Calvin, thank you for the super sticker there. Thank you, Calvin. I love it. I love the Muppet, too. That's awesome. Love how that looks. Aussie Wombat, I saw this out of the, I guess I'm going to say it was the internet equivalent of out of the corner of my eye. I have not caught up on everything that was happening with Aussie Overlord and the horrific situation he and his family are going through right at the moment. I caught some of that. It sounded awful. So I'm going to this weekend catch up on all of that too. But yes, prayers for their families and everything. That sounds like an awful situation. I don't want to misquote anything on that. That's why I want to make sure that I catch everything up first, though. But yeah, when I saw that, it's so awful. Mr. Gander, thanks for the 2 months there. Today's mom's 89th birthday. That's awesome. Yes. Would I wish? Of course, man. Janice. Let me bust out 89. That is amazing. First of all, I would have bust out the song for you. Then let's go from there. Let's do it. Give me 1 second.
Happy birthday!
Oh, 89, I love it.
To you.
I love it. There's much reason to play this. I love it. I was celebrating good things. Dreams come true.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
We love to have you here. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Here's to another year.
I want to bust out a special one too. Happy birthday from all of us to you. Yeah, baby. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. That's awesome too. I love it. And again, thank you. One thing, the reason I like the birthday stuff is because it's positive. When we look at things, when we cover them, we laugh at stupid people. We're still, it's based on something negative, and I love having something to celebrate that's positive. So love to you. Love to all of you there. Terry, thanks for the 3 months. There's not a statement. 3 months is itself a statement. Thank you there. You're going to carry that membership to term, baby. I love it. Appreciate it. Aces, thanks for the 5 there. On today's video, Ray Boner shared Lisa's been putting out, he's been putting out a rumble. I haven't looked yet because, frankly, her voice gives me a headache. Hire a good attorney. Indeed. I don't understand why these idiots don't hire attorneys. I mean, for real. They should get a real attorney. Lord. And I mean that for anybody, If you're getting sued, get a freaking lawyer. Get a lawyer you trust. Get a lawyer who also, I don't know how to make this any clearer either. These people in a year, you watch, once the dust settles on this case, if everything even went positive for them, let's just say in some hypothetical world it all went positive, they will have nothing to do with each other within a year. They won't matter. So why wouldn't you lawyer up and get somebody that looks after your needs? Because what they've done is they've linked into one another like they're a group. But you know what? There is no group there as far as you protecting yourself. These people, when they give you advice on something, they're not looking out for your best interests. In fact, you should ask who they are looking out for. They got lawyers. Why wouldn't you? Sticky widget. Thanks for the 2. Red lips for the win. Indeed. Thank you for that. Wanda, what's up? 10 months there. Man, thank you. 10 months. Hey, Doug, Megan. Oh, hey there. Appreciate you, by the way. Thank you. And thanks for the 6 months. He works hard for the money. That's what that. You all are triggering songs today. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jack. Thanks for the 2. Time for kryptonite. Evening, y'all. Indeed, appreciate you, Jack. By the way, yeah, it's been these filings this week will be a lot of fun. There'll be a bunch of them. Jada, thanks for the 10. For hot dogs, corn dogs, breadsticks to celebrate the 4th. Indeed, yeah. Tomorrow should be crazy. I still will be on tomorrow. Even though there is a holiday, I'm sure I'll be on. I'll be out for the day. I'll be visiting family, and then late that night we'll have all kinds of crazy fireworks. But in between it, I will definitely be on anyway. It's a lot of fun there. You'll probably hear a lot of fireworks in the background too, I'm sure. Lily, thanks for the 5. I took my daughter 5 different doctors until I found one to find out what was wrong. Her appendix had burst. It was slowly leaking into her body for months. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Okay. This really, really bothered me. All right. So I had moved out to Oklahoma a long time ago. All right. And while I was living out there, I started having pain in my right side. Now, they supposedly went through, they did all these tests. It cost a lot of money that I did not have way back when, and I kept having this pain. I could not get rid of it. In fact, it got to the point where that was back when they like to medicate everything away, with pain medication. So they kept giving me pain medication for it. I dealt with it, but, I had problems with medication after a while. I've talked about substance issues, and that's where it started from. Okay, well, this went on for years. Okay, well, when my appendix finally ruptured, fast forward, the doctor that looked at it he looked over my charting, and he said that there was an anomaly, like a growth or something that was inside of my appendix. So the problems that I was having, all this pain for all that time, they had ran tests, sure. And again, I went through many, not just in I went again through different states. This just tells you the state of the medical industry. But apparently the problem I'd been having that whole time was something inside of my appendix. So when it finally ruptured, all that pain I've been having for years finally went away because they removed it. And I was like, are you kidding me? So when that doctor mentioned that, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I'd be carrying that around for years with pain, which was great. I was glad to get rid of it. But, it's so crazy. And it's crazy too. I'm sure many of you have experienced this. If you experience a problem and they can't give you a diagnosis right off the bat, then a lot of times they just try to shove you off. Here's something, go sit in your corner, figure it out, suffer on your own. Now if you pick up and if you try to find too many doctors, you get accused of doctor shopping, so it's a terrible industry. You can see why people hate the freaking medical industry. I feel for people on that for sure. Been there. Something to bark about. I love that name, by the way. I love that. That is so good. I love it with your avatar. Hey, y'all from Arkansas. Well, thank you. Hey, return, by the way. Again, you should, if you want, we should take your little dogs and turn them into little Muppets if you ever want to as well. Send over a picture. We'll Muppetize them if you'd like. I think they would be cute as Muppets too. They're cute as they are. But DTG, thanks for 5. Tom, if your situation was an episode of House, are you in the first half of the last 10 minutes? Have you checked for lupus? Yeah, it's not lupus. It sounded like, again, POTS, POTS is what they were going with. But it could be something else as well. But what they were trying to it's postural orthostatic. I'm terrible with blah blah syndrome, but all of the things I was experiencing, that's what they were trying to treat. I mean, if you look at the medication and stuff, that's how they were treating it, like it was that. But they had never diagnosed it or anything. That's where you have to do the table test. And instead of doing the table test, they did something else, which I'm glad they eliminated, honestly. But something in your body's doing it. I'm wondering. I've also had a hiatal hernia. I've been trying to get that eliminated too. You never know. I mean, it could be anything. So we'll find out. Where am I at in that? I don't think I feel like we're somewhere near about the middle point, where you get the dun dun dun. we're not in the desperate part of that. I feel actually we're not in the beginning where you have all the panic. I went through that. It was a terrible place to be. I'm past that hump. I know that I'm not through some life-threatening else. This has been going on, by the way, long enough that if this were life-threatening, I just hate to say it would have remedied itself by now. That's a terrible way to say it, but they're so bad about giving you answers and putting you off. But they bleed you financially too. It's a mess. So Jack's mom, thanks for the 10. Dr. Cobow, I appreciate that. Glad you found a quarterback doctor for your issues. Everyone needs a doctor that'll run with actually finding out what's up. Yes, indeed. That's a good way of putting it, as a quarterback. That's what they should be too. They should be somebody that's out there that's leading the team, as it were. And that's what I felt like this doctor was. The other doctor, again, they did some decent test work. The two doctors I saw, high rated, man. One of them, though, I mean, again, they kept screwing up. They couldn't even manage appointments correctly. I'm pretty easy to get along with too. I'm not a let me speak to your manager kind of person. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty laid back on stuff. But they got to the point where I was like, man, this is so crazy. I need to file a complaint with the state or something. This is nuts. So I'm glad that, Dr. 3, it looks like third time might real be the charm. Denise, thanks for the 10 there. A good friend of mine is Ponce, and he had 4 daughters with the condition. It's manageable. A long time while treating it. Indeed. And that's if it's correct. That's the way they were treating. I have definitely, I will say one thing during this. I'm to the point where I drink so much water in a day, I should be a fish, They're like, drink more water. How much water? More. Oh my God. So funny. But prayers, thank you. I appreciate it. A little bit. Thanks for the month there. Appreciate you. Peace, bless you and your family. Thanks for everything you do and still do. I thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the one thing this has had a detriment on is I like to do videos, like short form videos, but it's been hard to do it. So, I've gone to one live stream a day and I've managed that. And thanks to y'all, because I appreciate that from y'all too. Y'all have supported that move. Otherwise, man, I do appreciate that. Wanda, they check the Cash App. Both check Cash App. Oh man, I'm sorry I didn't tell Megan to check that out. I need to. I'll tell her to mark it too, Wanda. I did check mine for sure. Checked it earlier, and thank you, by the way. I do appreciate you for that. I just oh my God, that's funny. Somebody sent a picture of SEAL team. Wait. So somebody mailed me and said that on the 2L live that the bankruptcy lawyer, I'm wondering this, is the bankruptcy what people paid all that money for? Was that, I mean, again, I don't know the answer to this. Why have we not seen a lawyer in any way, shape, or form, though? Like that has appeared for Preston, period. Are you paying for a bankruptcy lawyer? Is that what's happened? Or I don't know. I want to see more information on all of that, but that's bizarre. Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership too. Thank you, Fallen Hero, man. Appreciate you being all the time too. Thank you, bud. Sticky widget. Thanks for the 5. Got a bell. Happy 4th. Yes. If you're British, well, happy we lost a colony day. Be nice to one another and stay safe. Indeed. For here, it's a reason to eat barbecue and shoot off fireworks. And some people, they go out and they party. Be safe, by the way. That is tomorrow for us here, but it starts out all, rolling into the week. So you guys be safe, man. Just Jay, thanks for the 20 there. Lawyering is not hard. They should have taken the 8-hour course I took. Indeed there. By the way, I need that $19 retainer from both of you. Love you both. Glad you're back. You should not live with it. Up to Jay and Shizzy. Yeah, I know. What's up, man? Shouldn't have made you. I like this. Check this out. By the way, you got that, and then afterwards, just Bubba Hip comes in is like, "Hey, Doug, don't use a J Hip as a lawyer, please." So you have this in here. Yeah. And on top of that, we had Peggy come in and be like, "Hey, you know what, Doug, Megan, you picked a great lawyer." Just J Hip. He's great for the laughs. It's just Bubba Hip came back and was like, yo, yeah, little umbrella girl, baby umbrella girl. Yeah, that's your lawyer, not just J Hip. Love it. It's hilarious back and forth. That made me laugh. Bonnie, thanks for the 5. Torque and Dork and Gator Boy, both said they haven't been seen, or served rather. They're on that dock. Well, you've got to, by the way, the judge did say that certain people, they have to be served within X amount of days or so. It's fascinating how, by the way, I always like how people like paint chips, like they like to flex. They're like, yeah, I'm going to do this in court. I'm going to do that in court. I'm going to show them, expose them. And then they dodge the shit out of service. It's like, wait a minute. You were a man when you were on the mic. What happened, fat boy? You know, a lot of them are like that. They talk a lot of shit until they actually have to look at it. Then it's, let me run, right? Thanks for the 2 there. Appreciate that there. Button Candy Fun. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Lady Linda, thank you. Dropped 40 there for medical expense. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is a specialist partial copay. You know, depending on the day, they're either 40 or $80. So I appreciate that. I think there's another one. It's crazy what goes in under the specialist, by the way. I was shocked. Like I said, I've been arguing. So 2 of those specialists I saw, they kept saying, like, one, after copay, they were saying I owed them like $250. I was like, well, what do I owe? It's just one visit. There were multiple visits, but I was like, well, what's that based on? They said, well, it was for an EKG that we did. I was like, did? Yeah, not read, did. We hooked you. And you never hooked me up in your office. It never happened. Did you bill for a service that's never happened? So I've been arguing that with insurance because that's crazy, man. Jack Miles, thanks for the 5 there. Lug and Buck ice cream. Thank you, Jack. That's much appreciated too. Wanda, thanks for the 5 there. Just to let y'all know, I'll be having surgery on my foot on the 10th. So prayers, hey, everybody keep Wanda in your prayers for sure. Surgery on your foot, yes. You make sure while you're rehabbing too, like you sit around, do other things that keep your mind off of whatever. You can laugh at stupid with us. Find other things as well. Like I said, I've been watching the Breaking Bad channels and other things too. Just something to distract my mind. Well, I've been dealing. What is happening? Give me a second there. All right, there it goes. I couldn't lock in the super chat. Did you hear me click, 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 click? It wouldn't unlock the super chat. I don't understand that. Carol, thanks for the 5. Motion for the motion. I'm getting seasick. Yes, there are so many motions. It's crazy some days, isn't it? Cher, thanks for 5. Candy for the bug roads. Thank you, Cher. That's much appreciated there too. This is where Megan bounced out. See you. Thank you. Megan, step away from the chat. Indeed, as she bounced away. My connection died. My connection didn't die, right? Andre, thanks for the 2. Misfits, Chase Hales, dripping in court's legal trails. That is about right. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss line, too. Makes it even better. Just Jay, thanks for the 5. Rosalind is awesome. The Star is responsible for everything I do. Star is awesome as well. Yes. I think all of them need a shout out to Sarcasm, Rosalind do, Just Jay. I mean, they do quite a bit. Entertainment, sure, But also, I mean, they do a lot more as well. So thanks to them. They're very much appreciated, very much noticed. There are a lot of folks out there, again, that do so much too on the side of finding things and keeping track of all the crazy. And you guys are appreciated. I can't say that enough to you folks either. Clarence, thanks for the 5. She claims she's filing only 1 day after original filing. Yes, 6/27. But then references things happening 6/28. She's a time traveler. Indeed. Indeed. That's true. You know, how exactly do you reference 2 days after? But some Terminator music. Janice thinks the 10. Tug and Megan. Lips told Fleece that she wasn't on the service dock. The same episode when Deuce lost his shite and Rage quit the stream. The episode you showed at Rome. Oh, these people. Well, they're so bizarre. Where they say, I'm not being served, I'm not this, I'm not that, and yet. See, thanks for the 5. Oh, my poor me, Randy, he does his job. I know, he's fast, kick him up. Yep, indeed. They're like, oh, he filed, in a timely manner. I thought they said, by the way, that he was trying to multiply proceedings and drag out things. So now he's actually too quick. Like, that is a weird argument, isn't it? Because they argue, on one side, they're saying that he tries to delay, which was actually what Bruce did. He tried to add on 5 months. But on the other side, they're like, oh my God, he's too fast. It's really weird. Just bubble up, thanks to 2. When you dance, tug, and eat a stripper's pole. I don't know, it might get too spicy for the YouTubes. Jack Spot thanks for 2. She reads it, but isn't smart enough to comprehend. Apparently, I can't believe that they read the document on a stream and then play that they didn't. I mean, how do you play this game? It's so stupid. Becky, thanks for 5 months. I guess reading isn't fundamental for the ecosystem. Yeah, well, comprehension apparently isn't. For sure. Because again, they read it on a stream. I don't understand, like Megan was saying, how an audience can be gaslit to that degree and still just suck up everything and pretend that none of this has happened. There are a few out there that have some personal slight or grievance, perceived or otherwise through Jeremy and whatever. Fine. But don't pretend it's something. Now, don't pretend that these people are fucking are geniuses in the courtroom. They are definitely not that. Now, again, do I know how Fed 2 will come out? I don't. I have no idea. Again, I cannot say that somebody will or won't win a case. You don't know. Fed 1. As I said before, a tortious interference. I was shocked it went the way it went through, but it was because Jeremy had so much stuff, including the signs, and he also had Bruce, which Bruce did a lot of work for him too. But Julie, thanks for the 10 there. There's not a statement. That's a big statement by itself. Thank you, Julie. That is much appreciated as well. Keith, thanks for the 2. Randy, not likely. Email, Sap. Yeah, I didn't think about the day on there. That is interesting too. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about religious days or anything. It's actually good points too. Bunsen, thanks for the 9 months. I bet the clerks are watching. Well, if they do or don't, and here's the thing. I would hope that somebody could at least look at this stuff. They don't have to, anybody that sees this stuff does not have to agree with what I see in these cases. But my God, I would hope that they could see just the insanity, the level of lunacy. Like when people are out, they admittedly set up camera access, and then they spy on people for months. And this person has a protective order against the person that's bringing them in. I mean, all of this, the foundation of it is so insane. It is beyond calling somebody, again, some mean names online. We are well beyond that. Randall, thanks for the 2. Evening, folks. I pray for the Hales. Indeed. I hope for their safety. That's the thing I worry about, safety, man. Anything. Lily, thanks for 2. Does Jeremy of her admitting transcripts. I'm sure they've got all the transcripts from when they do live streams and stuff. So I'm sure they have access to that as well. Yeah, by the way, just Bubba Hip. Thank you for that too. I just want to thank you for that again. Yeah, also, I have my favorites again. Thank you too with that. Inchworm, I like that, by the way. Thank you, Bunsen. She's so funny when she speaks. I love like the accent on stuff. It cracks me up. You know, little kids when they pronounce stuff. Oh God, some of the stuff she says, some of it sounds like profanity sometimes. Like, oh my God, you know. And then you translate it. It's like, wait a minute. Thank you, also, Janice. That was very kind of you. Thank you. Kat, thanks for too. My oldest, age 11. 11, yeah. So she's she will turn 12 this year in October. So getting out there. Does she have any Stephen King books? Yes. Now there's specific ones. You know, I try to watch for specific types. Unfortunately, here's the problem with Stephen King. He has a certain type of thing that is added into some of his books, you know, that is gratuitously sexual. So there's certain books that you're like, ugh, you know, even it has a pretty awful, you know, it's not the monsters or anything. But for myself, you know, I read that stuff when I was younger. I never had anyone limit what I read. So I limit these days. Now there are books out there. Having said that, there are books in this day and age that I couldn't imagine being published when I was younger. You know, that make something like American Psycho look like a kid's book. I mean, they're that far out there. You know, like the Edward Lees and stuff. So I do have a line on books, but yeah, she does have she enjoys something scary. She even enjoys. She's picked up like older books, looking through the Lovecraftian circles. I really liked Clark Ashton Smith, for example. You know, I introduced her to him and some of the others because Clark Ashton Smith, one of the things I really enjoyed about him, it's not necessarily his writing, but his writing style. You know, when people, they talk about a person painting with words, that's what he did. If you ever go back and read, like you should read one of his short stories or even just pieces of it. Look at the way that he uses language. It's amazing. He was next level. So she's been going through, but yeah, Stephen King. It's funny. I went back. I've been going back with audiobooks. I went through my nonfiction moment, you know, and I'm back to fiction again. I just went through and it's been a while since I've listened to something like The Shawshank Redemption. So I just finished it again. That's a great listen, by the way. Man, that is a really good listen. If you pick it up, by the way, remember this. just a note with audiobooks. They have made that its own book. But remember that came from a collected series. It's one of the things you have to check with his writing. It may be in a collection, and if you're paying for something, why not get 4 stories or 5 stories instead of 1? But yeah, I went through it. Apt Pupil. I started on. I didn't finish Apt Pupil yet. I got it on. I wanted to listen to the Langoliers. I remember the miniseries, but I don't remember reading that. Now I probably have read it, but I don't remember reading it. So I thought I would go back and read it. And it's funny, you know who reads that audiobook? William Dafoe. I thought that was kind of fascinating. I didn't realize William Dafoe was actually the person on that. So that's been good to listen to. And I've been getting her into audiobooks too. Janice thinks supposedly David the Donor has given $3 million for attorneys for the haters. I would think it would be for specific ones. Again, you know, I mean, again, if he's got money to throw around like that, let him. You know, that's amazing. It's great. But I hope they remember which ones of them spend a lot of time spitting in their face. Because I would not pay for the privilege of somebody treating me like dirt, you know? And they definitely treated that man like they did not like him. Whether, again, you know, there are people when they'll write and say, well, I don't like him because of this, that, and the other. Whether or not your grievance is 100% legit, these people, if they're begging for money, you know, like Marla, for example, said, I never begged him for money. Sure you did. Sure you did. I saw it. I watched it. I got the screenshots. It's just like these other ones are like, you know, I never said anything negative about this guy. Yeah, you did. You did. So if he wants to pay, that's fine. But I imagine there's certain ones that like, and that money comes with a little thing. It's called criticism. They have a problem banning a person like that. And, you know, people like Bruce can't stand the guy. You saw him flip his shit, talking smack. Marlo's there. If you have multiple, there were 3 people that day that were just overtly talking smack about big money. And what that tells me is if it's happening right there in the front, it happens behind the scenes too. You've seen their little communications groups. You know they're doing that. And you know there's probably certain ones saying, don't do that anymore, because even though this person is X, Y, or Z, even though they probably, I bet you money they trash this person. You know, you see how they go, but they probably try to tame it publicly. Let him pay first. Man, don't ever let people treat you like garbage and you pay for the pleasure. Cynic and Cheat, thanks for the fun there. Money for Toots Heart, document. Thank you. Yes, I feel like I've got a direct infusion. When you're talking about like a transfusion for whatever, I feel like I have a cash transfusion. It goes from my bank account to theirs. Thank you, by the way, Cynic, man. I appreciate you, brother. I have my favorite things to the two. There is a receipt on Facebook to make Frosties at home. That's awesome. I'm telling you, like, if you've never tried homemade ice cream, though, now they have those ice cream making machines now. But back in the day, you know, you had to do that. That's actually like what one of my relatives does. They still do the old fashioned way, you know, and a lot of it, if it's done right, reminds me of a Wendy's Frosty, only so much better. It's like that base taste, but it's improved upon. You know, I like a Wendy's Frosty. I think they taste good, but it's like that taste with so much more. Aussie Wombat, by the way, dropped that $30 super sticker. Thank you, Aussie Wombat. That is much appreciated too. I love your freaking avatar. I'm glad, by the way. You went with that one. I like it. Rusty Ramps, things like that. They're innocent. Why not show evidence in the game? That's true. They may think they're walking on water, but they're skating on thin ice. Yeah, it's a dangerous game they've played. But again, they've got to juggle a lot of pieces on this too. They're not getting money because they cover cases well, or they laugh at stupid well. Money came at the expense of, remember, when you look at the biggest money that came in, what was that money for? I mean, really, what was the money for? The money was supposed to be to improve the lives of, including a child. That's what was pushed. And you notice, I thought this was interesting too. You saw Preston going outside of that circle and wanting to make direct contact with the person with the money. They started trying to cut out the middleman. And like I said, I hope that those people remember when she thought she would get no more money and tried to play like she was that person's victim at one time. The comments may still be out there, you know, that they should go through those videos that are out, you know, that they mentioned. They tried to blame everything on one YouTuber, which was garbage, by the way. Like, they all celebrated that specific person until they wanted more money. Then suddenly they were some kind of pariah. They didn't want them around. But they celebrated them for months. And their comments, a lot of them are still out there. So they should check them before they disappear. Even if they disappear, I have them, but they should check them themselves. Sandra D, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Sandra. That is much appreciated, by the way. It's good to see you too, Sandra. Sassy, what's up? Thanks for the 2. Replay crew, catching greens in here. Thank you, Sassy, by the way. I appreciate you. The replay crew. Emma, thanks for the 5. I'm happy you finally found a specialist who's hopefully going to do more than the bare minimum for you. Yes, indeed. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Answers found soon. Indeed. I'm hoping for it, man. Oh, gosh. That's the one thing. Because it doesn't just remove like certain things that I do. Some of that stuff is debilitating. It's like again, the brain fog thing is freaking annoying. Like trying to work around myself is very weird. Janice, thanks for the 10 there. My husband and I set up a blind date 42 years ago. By my friend. We celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary in May. That's awesome. Let's give you a song too. I know it's a little late, but still, let's give it to you. I love it.
Happy, happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy, happy birthday.
I love it.
May
40
all your
freaking
dreams come true.
2 years. That's amazing. 40 years anniversary. That's great.
We love to have you.
I wish that on anybody. Anniversary.
Here's to
Anniversary
another
edition.
year.
I might just have an anniversary edition of the song. I love that. But thank you, Janice. Gail, thanks for the 5 months. Been a member for 5 months. Been with you since depth. Well, thank you, Gail. That is much appreciated. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, by the way, they are doing their best still to try to rehabilitate the image of Heard. Some people will ask, like I'll bring something up on Twitter here and there. I haven't really brought it up in videos, but it's strange because some people, they wonder why you continue to talk about a person like that. The reason that you do is because, they did something horrendous. They never took responsibility. They tried to destroy another person's life while doing it. And what consequence do they face? They face career consequences and more, but on a long enough timeline, man, try to bring it back. So that's one of the craziest cases I've ever seen. I'm glad it came out the way it did, but it's crazy looking the aftermath still. Sassy, thanks for the 10 there. Had a hernia, but gastroitis. I'll email you the symptoms, but please look at everything you're talking about, especially with your heart is a huge factor in it. Yeah, indeed. That's something that I've been trying to get eliminated too. Oh, it's been such a pain. But yes, I'll email that over for sure. Thank you. Rusty Ray, thanks for the 2. Have you checked into secondhand lions? Secondhand lions? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Secondhand lions. What is that? Secondhand lions. Are you talking about a movie? I'm not sure what you mean on that. Email me on that or whatever. Rusty Ray Hips. I'm missing something on that. MS, thanks for the 2. I keep reading. 5-hour show is cool. Yeah, I'm just not in a hurry. Everybody's asleep. So it's funny. Tina, thanks for the 2. Happy 4th for you and the kiddos. Thank you. I appreciate that. Emma, thanks for the 5. I read dark romance books. Got to be careful these days because some of the covers are cartoony. Yes, indeed. And we ran across, I can't remember what book we ran across. I'll have to ask my oldest, but she complains about it all the time. We were walking through, I can't remember what store. I think it was Barnes and Noble. She saw a title and she thought, man, that sounds like a horror book, right? So she picked it up, and it was a title highlighted for Pride Month. It had been pulled forward. That's why it was on the shelf. Had been pulled forward, but the way it was presented again, it was set right in the middle of horror themes, and it wasn't. It was a very inappropriate for kids title. I was like, oh, again, material wise, read whatever, but it was mixed in with like titles that you would like Goosebumps almost books, I would say, and I thought, man, you're talking about misleading. Like I said, the kiddo was like, oh my God. Now we didn't buy that or anything, but even just reading the back of it, like, oh my God, and maybe you should be a little more careful there. To Rusty Reyes, they say, Tug, is that mug in her fourth outfit on your X page? In her fourth outfit. Oh Lord. Let me see. I don't even know what the heck's on my oh, by the way, oh yeah. By the way, let me note Michael Madsen. The actor Michael Madsen passed away at 67. I said on Twitter, that's still it's still much too young, man. He had one heck of a film library. It's sad, you get to that point and you see all these names passing away. Give me 1 minute here. I think I've caught everything. Oh, well, I'm not sure who's up. I'm going to end here. If I don't know if the redirect took, I usually check it. If not, go raid somebody. I appreciate you folks, but I am going to end here. I got to go do something. All right. Thank you, folks.